only one that had a tougher night than the Chiefs was Taylor Swift. She got booed out of the stadium. MAGA is very unforgiving. Trump was at the game. He got a big thrill because some of the crowd booed Taylor Swift when they put her up on the Jumbotron. Well, she didn't get booed out of the stadium. Unlike you, she stayed for the whole game. Trump's just jealous of Taylor Swift because she has more followers and more money and no kids.
Oh boy, the Super Bowl drama just keeps worsening. Jason Kelce now has gotten super emotional after the Eagles' big Super Bowl win against his little brother Travis and the Chiefs, and he spilled all the feels in a heartfelt post on X. He started by sending major love to his former teammates, saying there were a lot of emotions last night, as he reflected on the Eagles' 40-22 victory in New Orleans. Jason, who retired after 13 seasons with Philly last March, admitted it was a weird game for him to watch, especially since he's got a foot in both teams' worlds. On one hand, I wanted what's best for my brother, and on the other, I care deeply about the Eagles. So yeah, lots of feels, he confessed. But he couldn't help but praise his team, especially Jalen Hurts and coach Nick Sirianni, for their resilience and swagger. He really hyped up the Eagles' grit and how they proved they were the best. Then, of course, he switched gears to talk about Travis, who had a tough night. Let's be real, 4 receptions for 39 yards isn't his best.
Going into the game, I felt as confident as I ever felt in going into a Super Bowl or a playoff game or a big game in my life. And to happen on the biggest stage sucks, but to have it happen for the second time in my career on the biggest stage, man, it's a tough pill to swallow. It's a hard reality, man. It's a tough pill to swallow, man. Every time we felt like, we made a big play or we got something going, just not executing the play calls. I have a beautiful life. I have a beautiful life, man.
Kicking yourselves for not playing your best game.
Yeah.
Everybody played their best.
I know everybody wants to know whether or not I'm playing next year, and those are all extremely hard things to it's just a tough reality.
There's a physicality that becomes more difficult to manage. Take your time, obviously get away from everything for a while.
A little easier, but the reality is gonna suck here for quite a while.
Jason, in his usual big brother way, made it clear he's got Travis's back and respects all the greatness his little brother has achieved. He's done enough to be a gold jacket guy and a first-ballot Hall of Famer, Jason wrote. Aw. Someone else who is also standing up for the star couple is surprisingly Jimmy Kimmel, who didn't hold back when taking aim at Trump's latest shade toward Taylor Swift. After Trump took a jab at her following her Super Bowl appearance, claiming she was booed out of the stadium, Kimmel wasn't having it. On his show, he called out the former president, pointing out that Taylor wasn't actually booed by everyone, and unlike Trump, she stayed for the whole game. He even threw in a dig, saying Trump's just jealous of Taylor Swift because she has more followers, more money, and no kids than he does. Ouch.
The only one that had a tougher night than the Chiefs was Taylor Swift. She got booed out of the stadium. MAGA is very unforgiving. Trump was at the game. He got a big thrill because some of the crowd booed Taylor Swift when they put her up on the Jumbotron. Well, she didn't get booed out of the stadium. Unlike you, she stayed for the whole game. Trump's just jealous of Taylor Swift because she has more followers and more money and no kids.
Of course, Swift was cool as ever about the whole thing. She was seen laughing it off with Ice Spice when the boo started, proving she wasn't fazed. And in her corner, Serena Williams stepped up to defend her. Meanwhile, Trump, who got cheers from the crowd at the Super Bowl, took the opportunity to poke fun at Taylor, tweeting, "The only one that had a tougher night than the Kansas City Chiefs was Taylor Swift. MAGA is very unforgiving." Guess he's still salty about her endorsement of the other side, but wait a minute, because an entirely different person has just gotten his very first taste of the Swiftie rage, if ever someone gets on her wrong side.
And I look over to my right, and there is Taylor Swift getting booed by the entire stadium. At that point, I was like, I'm just going to slink back into my little seat right here and keep watching, because this is great theater. Super happy. Even then, he was very focused on the fact that Taylor got booed. He was
I'll be honest.
It's like very happy that she got booed. And she looked befuddled at the fact that people were booing her, as if like, do they not know it's me? It is I, Taylor Swift. Why on earth would you boo me? It's like
CJ Gardner Johnson is in hot water after trolling Travis Kelce following the Eagles' Super Bowl win over the Chiefs. After his team's 40-22 victory, the Eagles safety took to Instagram with some shady words for Kelce and his girlfriend Taylor, while seemingly throwing shade at Kelce's ex, Kayla Nicole. Posting a pic from the game with his hands behind his back, he captioned it with a line referencing Nicole. Should have stayed with that thick S, along with the song Murder Business by Young Boy Never Broke Again. The post quickly went viral and was met with backlash from fans who thought Gardner Johnson crossed the line. People couldn't believe he was stirring the pot after winning the biggest game of his career, calling him everything from classless to a weirdo. The post was deleted soon after, but the drama didn't stop there. Fans of Swift and Kelce took their revenge by bombarding Gardner Johnson's mom's restaurant with fake one-star reviews. The reviews trashed King's Grill in Florida for terrible service and food. Totally fake complaints, and they were quickly deleted, though not before the situation blew up. While all this was going down, both Taylor and Kayla Nicole were spotted at the Superdome. Swift was supporting Kelce in the stands and getting booed by Philly fans, while Nicole, who dated Kelce on and off for 5 years before they broke up, was seen celebrating with the Eagles on the field. The whole thing an act of supreme vengeance. Meanwhile, Travis Kelce is absolutely getting roasted for his performance in Super Bowl. Fans are seriously accusing him of not putting in the effort, especially when it came to protecting Patrick Mahomes, who was sacked 6 times. Mahomes spent most of the game running for his life, with Philly's defense just bulldozing through the Chiefs' offensive line. Now video breakdowns are surfacing, and Kelce is taking some heat for not stopping Josh Sweat, who eventually took Mahomes down. Fans weren't holding back on X, with one saying, "Half-ass effort from Kelce there," while another pointed out, "I knew there was a lack of effort, but," and a third went in with, "Check out the pathetic block attempt from Kelce. If Kelce isn't moving up to the second level to block, he's garbage. Can only block players he has 40-plus pounds on. Yikes."
In terms of the aftermath of what happens with the Chiefs, Travis Kelce came back for a three-peat, and then we saw what happened last night. That he's not going to want to leave off of this. It just comes down to, what does Travis Kelce want to do with his life? He retires, and the offers just come flooding in. Well, what does he want to do? Does he want to keep playing football? Does he want to start acting now? Does he want to start hosting shows now? Does he want to do dramas now? Does he want to do comedies now?
But it wasn't just the blocking. Kelce's Super Bowl stats are leaving a lot to be desired. He only caught 4 passes for 39 yards, most of which came after the Eagles already had the game in the bag. Oh, and let's not forget, he didn't even catch a single ball in the first half. That's a rough look for someone with a 3-ring Super Bowl resume. Some fans are even suggesting that it might be time for Kelce to retire, pointing out that this season was statistically one of the quietest of his career, with just 4 touchdowns and 998 yards on 110 receptions. Definitely not the season fans were hoping for. And let's be honest, if Travis is calling it quits, his retirement could be a big deal. While Kelce kept quiet on the matter, finding comfort with his pop star girlfriend after the game, the rumors about his future have only grown stronger. Let's take a look at what could be next for the Chiefs star, whether it's his future with Taylor, a TV career, or his popular podcast with his brother Jason.
God damn. It's just life, man.
I think people have been waiting to hear from you since the game Sunday. I mean, you have so many records at this point that this is kind of just another one.
That's the last thing that I care about right now. Going into the game, I felt as confident as I ever felt in going into a Super Bowl or a playoff game or a big game in my life. And that wasn't the reason. To happen on the biggest stage sucks. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's a hard reality, man. I'm sorry for how it ended, but I have a beautiful life. I have loved ones. Right now, I'm just kicking everything down the road. I'm not making any crazy decisions. The biggest thing is just...
After the Super Bowl loss, 2 Chiefs players were asked if Kelce might retire. Wide receiver Xavier Worthy suggested it might be their last game, and quarterback Patrick Mahomes acknowledged that while Kelce's got plenty of football left, it's all about whether he still has the drive. Kelce himself has dropped hints on his podcast New Heights that his career might be winding down. He even admitted back in December 2024, after facing the Cleveland Browns, that he was just giving it one last hurrah. He also joked about Tony Gonzalez's career record of 210 games, saying, "I don't know if I can play 40 more." With Kelce's contract up and free agency looming, we likely won't know his decision until the offseason, but if he does retire, he's got a lot of exciting opportunities waiting for him. Despite the Super Bowl heartbreak, Kelce's relationship with Taylor is stronger than ever. Kelce was crushed when fans booed Taylor during the Superdome Jumbotron moment, but he's always had her back, even standing by her side during her Eras Tour. Rumor has it that if the Chiefs had won the big game, Kelce might have been ready to pop the question. He even teased on his podcast that he's got a unique take on wedding timing, saying, "I don't know people who've gotten married in the fall because my friends always do it in the summer."
Yeah, he's doing good. Don't really want to get into it too much. It's a family matter, so I'll just keep it to the family, and that's all I really have to say at this point.
If Kelce does retire, though, it might mean no more cheering from Taylor in Arrowhead Stadium. But hey, it could give him more time to support her music career. And who knows, maybe wedding bells aren't too far off. And speaking of Taylor, she might have inspired one of Kelce's latest moves. In early 2024, he bought his first racehorse, appropriately named Swift Delivery. The horse has already competed in some pretty high-profile races, including the Toronto Cup and Ontario Derby. While horse racing is a high-risk game, it could turn out to be a smart financial move if Kelce continues to grow his stable of horses. Back in 2016, he had his own reality dating show, Catching Kelce, and he's since made appearances on Amazon Prime's Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity? Kelce's also talked about getting into broadcasting after football, a la his brother Jason, who's been a regular on ESPN's Monday Night Football. Kelce even joked about following in Tom Brady's footsteps with a multi-million-dollar TV deal. Then, of course, there's New Heights, the podcast that Kelce and Jason launched in 2022. It's already a fan favorite, snagging the iHeartRadio Podcast of the Year award in 2024. Rumor has it that Taylor Swift listens to it every week, so when Kelce hangs up his cleats, there's no reason why the podcast wouldn't keep rocking and rolling. Whether he's diving into the world of horse racing, becoming a TV personality, or just chilling with Taylor, Kelce's got plenty of exciting paths to explore once his NFL days are behind him. Whatever he decides, he's got options. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.